Hi, folks. Line and wash. I did one for Patreon the other day. I did this simple Lakeland scene. Probably a bit ambitious for line and wash, but anyway, I did a painting a few years ago, and I've just enlivened or paid quite a bit of money to have my original, or my first laptop overhauled, and it's a bit disappointing, probably because it was worn out. It had a new keypad. Um, and there's still some old photographs on it of paintings that I did 5, 6 years ago. So I'm just going to make up a painting based on. I'm using black acrylic paint in this lid, and I'm just diluting with a bit of water. It's a great, makes a great ink. Well, it's acrylic ink, but you must, if you're going to paint over it, you must dry it thoroughly. I think this brush is just a little bit too long. Let's give it a good clean. I'm going to use a larger brush. I want to put some trees on there, and I don't want it to be too solid. This is on a Winsor & Newton 12 by 9, 12 by 8. 140 pounds cold pressed. It's a lovely, it's from a block. I've only got one sheet left in it. I quite like doing these, but I don't do a lot of them, I must admit. There's so many other things to do, like these simple wet in wet watercolours. Okay, let's just get this island, all that isthmus just sticking out here. And I want to put in a bit of distance here. I'm going to put a nice dilute bit of paint over some of that, I think. Let's have a little bit of try and get that horizon more or less horizontal. A little bit of harder stuff on there. Let's put some trees. Try to keep things different. Then over that, we'll put in a bit of mountainy stuff. It's quite faint. This I've got to keep the aerial recession right. Oh, there's a hair on there. Oh, that's all right. Got to take that off before it does some damage. Get off. Gotcha. Now, while that's a bit wet, I can just drop a few bits of detail in there, just to make up that. That went a bit wrong there. Should have done that when it was dry. Just using this Japanese script brush. I'll dry this in a minute when I've done all my black ink. Okay. Got to put in some. I'll do that with vigour when it's dry. Right, now a bit of foreground. Put it up. See where you want your harder. I don't want too much of this. This is just a support. Bushy stuff. Can put a little bit of marshy stuff in here. Okay, that'll do. I'll give it a dry and then I'll just put a bit of detail in there. Right, just a little bit of detail in that stand of trees. Otherwise, enliven it with a bit of white gouache at the end. I hope the sounds are right. I think it's probably a bit too bright. The sun is coming in and out at the moment. Let's just turn the brightness down. Right. Okay, we'll put a little bit of detail in that foreground with the rigger. just strengthening up this Wolfgang to give that that near, middle, and distant, as Frank Clark would say, have some more fun. Horizon, sky, middle, and foreground. And I'll just put a bit of a dry on it. Okay, that'll do. We'll put some colour in there in a minute. Dry, mute. Okay, well that's nice and dry. It's quite a small painting, but I still use the large H to colour in. I used to use a sharpened stick when I first started line and wash, because I was at a demonstration at our local art group. It was quite a big art group in those days. I'm talking about over 30 years ago, when Ted Weston was a popular demonstrator, along with John Darlison. Sherry Valentine Danes is one of their foremost impressionist lady painters. So Ted would pick up a piece of stick or a twig, a lolly stick, a nice lolly stick, sharpen it, and he would use. But he wasn't painting on the small scale. This is only as I say, it's a 30. I think it's 30 by 30 centimeters by 21 centimeters. So I'm going to yes, he used a stick, and I started using a stick. Well, I've got one or two here. Look, I picked this up for you Americans, Floridians. I picked this up on the beach at Fort DeSoto. They've been damaged by the edge of a hurricane that passed over, which is quite normal for the Gulf of Mexico. And I brought some back to the UK because this came out of the sea. Probably if I licked it, it would taste of salt water. But they work, but you just, well, it's worth trying. But you can paint and draw with them, but you're forever dipping it in, and you wouldn't be able to use something like that. You'll need a little pot that won't fall over and make a nice bit of ink in it, and dip the thing right in, or fairly in, because you can shade with the edges of it, depending how you do it. Yeah. Bit of ink on there. Right, okay, so let's wet the paper. We'll just let that soak in a little bit before I put it tight. Okay, now while that's going, I'll just get my paints out, which I haven't neglected to do. I got so lost in trying to sort out the Logitech webcam on my old Windows 7 laptop. But there are issues with the whole computer. It really has worn out. But it is working, so I can use it for other things now. That's gone very dark now. So up the brightness. Right, okay, so a bit of raw sienna. Now remember, the paint always dries a lot lighter than when you put it on. The board's about 30 degrees. I'll put in a little bit of blue. Right, bit of red, light red in that. See if I can just, that's it. Now we'll have just a little bit of darker. Okay. Okay, I'll dry that off now. Don't want to do any more wetting wet. So mute coming up. Okay, we've got this nice streakiness, lakeland scene. Could be a bit of rain coming out of this cloud going over the top. I'll use my, what brush should I use? I'll use this medium, Ron Ransome's medium height now. I want to just put in the background of those hills. Put a bit of greenery in there. Okay. All right, let's get a bit of blue, a bit of burnt sienna, bit of yellow. And let's just put in a bit of right. Now we'll do these wintry autumn trees. That's a bit of burnt sienna and a bit of blue, same as I just put on, but not quite as dark. There's a bit of light coming through those. Right, let's put a bit of a beach in there, bit of umber. Bit of Payne's grey there. See, my colours are quite loose because they've been in a Stay Wet palette. Great thing to have, worth every penny. Got a good one. Right, let's get a bit of green in there, bit of dark green. Could put a bit of sienna in there. I reckon we could just put a little bit of harder sienna in here. Okay, just catching a little bit of. I noticed on a bike ride yesterday through the Wetlands on Maldenhall Park in South London. It's called Malden, Surrey, but it's a London suburb. We're near where I live. And the light shining on the poplars. There's no trees on them, leaves on them, of course. It's winter, or still. You wouldn't think so, looking at the weather at the moment. There's just a glow on the top of this burnt sienna glow, light burnt sienna, wonderful. Probably most people wouldn't notice it, but they're things that, as artists, we put in our pictures. Let's just do a little bit of work in this foreground now. I'll use Frank Clark's large hake. Well, we want some darkish green, so a bit of yellow, bit of sienna, bit of grey, Payne's grey. Good, nice effects with this brush because it's unlike Von Ranson's hake, or the Von Ranson hake, but that's morphed through a few incarnations. Oh, let's have a bit of dark, and then now a bit of warm dark. Okay, I'm not going to try and scrape out on this paper. I prefer the rough papers. As you know, I've been using a lot of Winsor & Newton 90-pound rough, and now the Saunders. I've still got some of the Winsor & Newton left, but I've got quite a bit of the Saunders Waterford rough, 90-pound rough. It's a lovely paper too. Well, how are we doing? Well, that's not looking bad, is it? Let's just wondering whether I should just add a little bit of green in there, just to add a little bit of this, a bit of blue, bluey green. Right, I'll dry that just so that'll lighten a bit. So I'll just mute the sound. I hope the picture's okay. Right, now I'm going to use a little bit of gouache in there. Do some sails. Oh, I've got this blob of white gouache there. Don't know if that'll show. Okay, not a great example of line and wash, is it? Let's put a bit of dry brush. That's sky colour, that's cloud colour. Right, that'll do. I'll put a mount on it. I think that is quite accurate, the picture, from what I can see. Right, get the mount. Let's come over there a little bit so we can get that, or more of that banking. Sorry about that. So, I'll see if I can clean that off a little bit. Oh, I don't know. All right, okay, well, there we are. Let's just lift it up a bit. Whoops. Well, there we are. It's a nice, well, not about nice, but it's a simple. The trouble is, when you're in a hole, we don't always stop digging, do we? And I'm just looking at that blob on this mount. That was quite an expensive mount when it was made. I mean, they're very fine lines, but that's well, that's a bit better than it was. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that, folks. I'll upload that. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.